Hi. Okay. Who are we doing next? We've done Libra, Virgo, and Leo, which I thought was really interesting because it was like backwards chronological. Pisces. Okay, Pisces. It's your turn. There we go. Pisces. Okay, please check out your rising moon and Venus sign for additional messages. If you don't know what those are, you can go to a place like Cafe Astrology in order to figure out. You just need to know the time you were born, essentially, to figure out what your rising sign is. That's the biggest thing. We're going to figure out your oracle message using the LP Oracle. And then I'm trying out some new decks that I've acquired here. The Santa Muerte is the one we're going to use for you. And so we're going to do a 10 card spread. Then we'll use some magnetic poetry to get those hidden messages. And then we're done. This is your October general read. Please check the description box for everything you need to know. And let's get started, shall we? I do apologize. I've been working some overtime. I'm trying to do that while they're offering overtime. And probably going to end up having to get a second gig. But if I can help it, I'm going to try to make sure that I do the Wheel of the Year reading nearing the end of the month, as is tradition, or has become tradition at this point. Okay, so let's get started. Let's find out for you what is your oracle message for October, Pisces. Elle, see, she who grants wishes, so wish, desires, hope. You either have the potential to grant somebody's wish, or you're looking afield rather. You're looking further afield for somebody to grant your wish or your desire at this time. There's also something about maintaining the faith or keeping hope alive for something. But yeah, something about the magical, believing in magic there. Okay, all right, let's get started for you. Again, we're going to do a 10-card spread. Not going to clarify. I'm going to try and keep these messages relatively simple. That way, maybe I'll have the ability to keep doing some other semblance of spread this month, other than just the general read, you know, like a love spread or yours, theirs, or something. Something fun, something different. I was really missing doing the cards here because, you know, I haven't, like I said, I haven't had the time recently, and I'd really like to make sure I get back into it. The deck is really, it's the thicker deck, and it is brand new, so I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to bridge this one. But if I can help it in the future, I'd like to. But I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Once more, and then we'll go for it. I only take flippers and jumpers, a maximum of 3. So we'll see how that works out as well. Alright, okay. Twist for fairness, and let's get going for it. In the present for you, Pisces, a sun, moon, rising, and Venus. What do we have? Present energy for Pisces, sun, moon, rising, and Venus. We have a flipper. Do we have 2? Just the one? Okay. The Tower in the reverse. Something surprising. Something of a pleasant surprise, or something that's just... so the Tower in the reverse is typically something that isn't necessarily an unpleasant shock or an unpleasant surprise. Just something that kind of comes in out of the blue that you weren't expecting. See what else? In the present for you, Pisces. Sun, moon, rising, and Venus. We have another. With the Ace of Wands in the reverse. A lack of initiation, or, you know, a lack of creative beginning. Normally I call this the matchstick of the divine. Some people consider it a phallic symbol. In the upright, normally it's just one wand on fire. But creative inspiration has not struck for you. There is something that is rather surprising that's happened. Doesn't necessarily, it's like you expected that it would strike inspiration, or expected there would be a creative beginning of sorts, but that wasn't the case. It didn't happen. Maybe that is a surprise. I don't know. What are your desires this time, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus? Your desires, your present desire. What do you currently desire? Oh my god, my foot's itchy. One sec. I hate when that happens. Okay, current desires. Okay, we have one that's flipped there. Knight of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so lack of impulsivity. Impulsive action usually. It's usually Quicksilver energy. So somebody who's kind of rushing in towards something without thinking, without hesitation. Your desire is to do something from a standpoint that is lacking in the impulsivity side of things. Normally, this is Gemini energy as well, but the current desire that you have is to make sure that you do something with careful forethought, methodical, slow plodding action in towards something, as opposed to that irrational, quick action that takes place without careful forethought. And that's what it seems to be here with that Knight of Swords in the reverse. What else? What else? Current desires for Pisces. Okay, the Moon in the reverse. You're looking for, because you don't want to be confused about something. This is coming. So normally, the Moon in the upright, the Moon is about confusion, illusion, deception, nightmares, the sleeping side of Tan. It is a Cancerian card. In the reverse, however, it is things coming to light with the emergence of the day. Things emerging, exactly that. Something emerging. Coming out of confusion about something. It's almost like you're looking for a point of realization. You could also be looking for answers to a mystery of sorts through your dream state, or the answer to a dream, or a recurring dream, or something that you've kind of always, I don't know why I'm getting that in particular, but it's because I'm seeing the reflection of the moon in the water here. The imagery on this card's kind of just saying everything. There's something about the imagery, and is it a reflection of yourself, or is it an augury of something else to come? There's something about dream interpretation here. Being confused about a dream and hoping to get answers about it or understand its meaning from a deeper standpoint. Try not to act impulsively. Your desire is to not act impulsively and to gain a better and deeper understanding of yourself or a situation through the dreams that you keep having. It's reoccurring. There's a reoccurring dream. Recurring. That you are seeking to shed some light on. What's hidden from your awareness? What do you not expect? What you do not expect? Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. We have our two. That's nice. So, the Five of Pentacles with the Queen of Swords in the reverse. This is your second court card in reverse. Libra energy there in the reverse with the Queen of Swords. Normally this would be Athena. Lack of balance, judgment, equilibrium. Judgment's not going in your favor. Something unjust, something that isn't fair. Something that doesn't have the equity that you were hoping it would. And then a feeling of being left out in the cold. However, it is more of an illusion than an actuality with the Five of It's almost as if you're seeing you see. So the imagery in this deck is a little bit different, and the interpretations are a little different. There's a feeling that you are left out in the cold or destitute financially. Yet we have emerald skulls there. Somebody is walking on all of these. Walking on eggshells is something I'm hearing right now. But walking on all of these skulls, thinking that everything is lost. They don't understand that they have beneath their feet riches. They have the opportunity to bring about something and bring themselves out of the cold if they wish. That is the classic interpretation of the Five of Pentacles, at least, is that you have two people sitting outside of a church, shivering in the cold, and they're destitute, they're desolate, all of that. However, at the same time, they have every opportunity to bring themselves in from the cold, because churches do offer sanctuary. And so there's a feeling of inequity, a feeling of something has happened that is unjust, or a loss of a court case or something. However, it's a mindset shift that needs to occur here. What you have lost isn't actually a loss, even though there's been some, like a deep-seated feeling of injustice. You have the ability to kind of shift your mindset and bring yourself into a more positive place, a more positive headspace. In the near future for you, Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. This is Six of Swords? Yeah, Six of Swords in the reverse. Oh, that's an interesting version of that. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's a Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords in the reverse. So this is a depiction in the upright. Nine of Swords in the reverse. Freeing yourself from anxiety, sleepless nights, worry, nightmares again. It's an alleviation of sorts. An alleviation of stress, anxiety, and worry. Something that keeps you up at night. Something that you kind of, you see how this person has the swords or the pins kind of all pointing into his head, in towards his head. You might be suffering from migraines that you're going to see the alleviation of in the future, in the near future. What is this here? Something about this book. You're gaining wisdom, insight, or comfort from a book. It could be the Bible, but I don't necessarily know that that's the case. There's some knowledge in that book there. Reading is going to bring you comfort in the sleepless nights. Or it's bringing you freedom from stress or freedom from anxiety in some sense of the word. What else? Near future for Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. A lot of pressure. So a lot of pressure, and you're alleviating the pressure. I don't think it's the Bible. I think it's an intellectual pursuit through reading. And the reason I say that is because each of these swords is an alleviation of pressure. Swords being for the intellect and communication. What else here? Four of Cups. So Four of Cups in the upright is a card of boredom, laziness, feeling a sense of, that's the word I'm looking for here. So classically speaking, this card would have the universe handing a cup to the individual, a cup from the divine. However, he's not interested. It's, yes, thank you, disinterest, a lack of interest in emotional pursuits. a lack of interest, boredom, delay, and setback, because somebody is just completely disinterested. Depression also. The feeling that one isn't interested about the emotional side of things. They're too welled up with emotion from themselves. If you see there, I gotta get this right here. Yes, he's got water leaking out of his head. There's a feeling of depression, grief, loss, abandonment, and it's caused a lack of interest, a loss of interest. The feeling of kind of like having one's blinders on and not necessarily recognizing where from the divine has been extended to somebody. Never mind that somebody has all of these options surrounding them, but also that there's this cup from the divine that's been extended out to them also. They're too lost in, like, it's almost like grief-stricken here. This is person, he's grief-stricken. It's like a lack of inspiration too, but it's emotional inspiration. It's not the creative inspiration that sparks passion within somebody, like a fire in the belly. It's water on the brain. Water on the brain instead of fire in the belly. You see that? Let's go ahead and let's see what your distant future is, Pisces. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And I mean, I'm a Pisces Venus, but seems to me that, as is the nature of the fish, when a Pisces is feeling super emotional, they dive deep so that they don't have to share those emotions with others necessarily all the time, especially if they feel a threat of getting hurt or they just need to sort that stuff out. They'll dive to the depths in order to protect. It's like self-preservation in a way. But in the near future, that's happening. Somebody needs to alleviate pressure from what's going on in their own head. And so they're not looking to the emotional for that comfort. They're looking at the intellectual side of themselves. I would expect to actually see a King of Swords fall. Let's see here. What are we at? Distant future for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. You got lots of swords here. You got a Five of Swords in the reverse. Coming to the realization that you are no longer going to deceive yourself, or that you had deceived yourself, but you will no longer. Five of Swords is all about that self-deception, the realization that someone has deceived themselves, that they will no longer do so. And no longer fooling yourself about something, no longer kidding yourself about something. What is it? Come on, tell us. Tell us. How many is this? Two. Eight of Wands in the upright with Eight of Cups. No longer fooling oneself about the need to walk away from something that is no longer serving somebody of an emotional sense, in order to seek, first of all, what is in one's best interest and going to serve somebody to their highest good in terms of self-love, so that you can seek out the zenith of emotional fulfillment moving forward. And then also there's some communication. This communication may have sparked this thought within you. Messages, inspiring messages nonetheless. But it's just a communication that flies through the air. So it's like... could be an email, a text message, a digital message, that type of thing. But it comes through the air, and it sparks the idea within you that you need to abandon what is no longer serving you, that you've held emotional attachment towards, in order to go in search of self-love. And once you have attained that, you can then look at how to get into that deep emotional fulfillment of being in the most ultimate of connection with another. You have to achieve first the connection with the self. And in order to do that, you have to abandon emotional connections that may be serving as a distraction. The communication comes in, and that spurns on the idea that this needs to happen. You're no longer fooling yourself about that. Bottom of the deck, we have the Six of Wands. I need to have my glasses on for this deck. Sorry, Nine of Wands. Yeah, defensive energy, wounded warrior energy. It's funny, this deck seems to be playing a number on me with the nines versus the sixes. I should wear my glasses when I'm reading these. Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is about that wounded warrior sense of oneself. Feeling that you have to put up a fence, a wall, that defensiveness, that self-preservation that has to happen because somebody is worn from the battle and no longer capable of taking on any more. It's like being on the verge of success, yet so exhausted from the fight and the burdens and the conflict and the war that you don't feel capable of moving any further towards your goals or just making forward progress, period. You see this individual, though, they recognize at the sight that they have to chop down that fence, that thick wall that they have built in between themselves and the outside world. It's a necessity to do so. Self-protection is only something, self-preservation and protecting oneself or overprotectiveness is only valid if there's something to protect yourself from, you know? And it seems as if putting a wall up isn't necessarily serving your highest good. Let's get your numbers and then we'll look at some magnetic poetry for you. Numbers of significance for October for Pisces. What do I have? 12 breaking down to a 3, 9, 7, and another 12 breaking down to a 3. Let's see. So magnetic poetry. What do we got? We'll stir them up real good for you here. So that, and I'll put them in lists instead of, so that it doesn't look like I'm trying to make the sentences. You'll get to make those yourself. Let's see here. Give it a good stir. I have so much of this stuff that I can't fit it on my fridge. It doesn't look like it, but I really do. It doesn't all fit on my fridge. Okay. What do we got? A lot of short ones. That's interesting. Somebody looking at getting a puppy? That's funny. Anyway, that's what I got for you, Pisces. Thanks for watching. I don't really know what to say at this point. I think that's it. I think we're done. Okay. All right. Be well. We'll see you when we see you next. And it's so weird not doing this on my phone, but I think I kind of like it a little bit better. All right. See you when we see you next. Bye. See, I was going to touch the screen again. I've been doing that. Okay, bye.